Lance and Rick, 4.1, the future. All right, so we're going to argue, I assume, about the future of America.
All right, you know more than I do, so tell me about the future.
Well, hold on. So first off, we have to I'm going to have you agree with me that America can't last forever. That whether it lasts another 100 years, 500 years, 1,000 years, America being a country and most countries having a finite lifespan, it's unlikely that America will last infinity years. So can we agree on that?
Of course.
Okay. Then we have to decide, I think, what is good about America? What makes America a great country? What would we want of America to survive past America itself? For instance, I think one great thing about living in America is that we're number one at a zillion things. We make the best entertainment. We kicked ass in World War II, saved the world from fascism. Land of opportunity. We're free to go on social media and say the most horrible things about politicians without suffering, getting tossed in some pokey or camp or something. Lance, what makes America great as America?
The Constitution, Declaration of Independence. I mean, this is a cliche, but it bears repeating. Freedom, capitalism, democracy. But I really believe in that liberty stuff, and that's what you guys want to take away from us. Like, for example, you're not that free to go on social media and say anything bad about a Democrat, or you'll be called a racist, a bigot, every name in the book. Oh, yeah, you're not free to go to a campus if you're a conservative and make a speech, because the liberals, the love, peace, compassionate liberals, will attack you physically, and the police are afraid to do anything about it.
Well, you don't find it at all fun that neo-Nazi Richard Spencer, some guy in a hood, ran up and hit him in the head and ran away?
I'm not that familiar. I think I've heard one speech by Richard Spencer, and I can't stand the way that Democrats solve their disagreements by attacking people, even if it's a Nazi. If the guy's not hurting anybody, I can't stand you guys resorting to violence. But that's the inevitable result of any socialism. You need to enforce your will through tyranny.
Let's just agree that we both like liberty.
Okay.
All right. So you think that liberty is at risk of, well, I shouldn't speak for you, but you think that Muslim immigration threatens what makes America great as America?
Yeah. I mean, they're imposing, they're beginning. Did you know that Muslim organizations are the ones writing all the textbooks about their religion that are being read to our kids? Our kids are being told in textbooks all across the United States. All the elementary school and middle school and high school textbooks are saying that Islam is this incredible religion of peace. It much more favorably portrayed than the Judeo-Christian religions. And it's because it's being funded by Muslim organizations. They're trying to get our kids used to Islam.
All right, so I could argue that, well, if they're teaching people that Islam is a religion of peace, then maybe some people will buy it to the point that they'll be Islamic and peaceful. But you would say then, no, that's just a facade, and that behind the peaceful facade that people are being taught actual Muslims are being taught not peaceful stuff?
Well, if we want to discuss this,
Not because I want to get to the future.
all right, I'll briefly answer the question. In the most recent versions of the Quran, it says that Jews and Christians were so impressed when they met Muhammad that they converted willingly to Islam. Well, the truth is they were forced to do it or be turned into slaves. So, and that's what the earlier versions of the Quran say, and what most historians agree on. So when you start changing the history and then feeding it to our kids, that's going to damage, well, it's going to damage our kids. And, you know, right now, Islam is not the biggest threat to freedom in the United States, but it's one of the things that you guys are helping happen that is one more nail in the coffin of what was a beautiful country, America.
All right, so let's just kind of trade things that will change America.
All right.
My biggest thing that I think will change America and that will have to be addressed is the coming of AI.
All right.
I've got another buddy who says that, who works in the field, who says that by the year 2100, there will be 1 trillion AIs in the world. That doesn't mean that there will be 100 robot girlfriends for every lonely guy. It just means that, you know, you'll be able to have a robot girlfriend or butler if you want one, but that your forklifts are going to be really smart and able to retrieve stuff on their own, and your sidewalks are going to be smart enough to record how many people walk on them and what they weigh and wear patterns, and your refrigerator will ask you if you want to buy more yogurt because you're down to 2, and the smartest people in the world, the most successful people, may be augmented people, people who have AI piggybacking on them to make them smarter and more effective, able to make decisions more quickly, able to network more efficiently. And it's going to change the structure of society all over the world. And change the way that people aggregate. We live in the era of nations. The world has, I don't know, around 210, 220 nations, and they are kind of units of unity where people feel pride and a certain amount of safety in being being citizens of the countries that they're citizens of. For a lot of countries throughout the world. I mean, there are a bunch of countries that are failed states that are hellholes, but most countries are the source of at least some things that are good for their citizens. And people more or less enjoy being citizens of a particular country. But as technology makes it possible for people to ally themselves with other groups and people who aren't just local, those alliances will run the risk of becoming as important as national alliances and may put pressure on, well, just make nationhood less important.